Hey everybody, this is a close-up. This is Roger with Roger's Reviews and Tree Life 584 Tree. So we have a special little box opening today. I didn't think I was going to get it right away, but we did, and it came home. It's kind of late, but I want to open this up and show you what we got. So without further ado, let's back up. Let's open this thing up and see what we got. So I'm going to put this on here so you guys can see a little better. There we go. Get you a little, and then maybe we'll take that off and do some close-ups. And let me grab this thing, bring it up here. Oh, here we go. What is it? What could it be? What could it be? www.Holzfforma.com. What is it, guys? What is it? For the working man, the Holzfforma G660 92cc chainsaw. All right, let's see what we got here. Whoops. Where's my knife? All right, let's open this bad boy up. Somewhere, where do we start? Let's just start cutting. You guys over here and see what we got here. Now, you guys are probably saying, like Tom, man, what's up? Why did you not buy a STIHL? I've bought many STIHLs, I've bought many Huskies, I've bought Echoes, I've bought tons of saws, and I've had tons of saws walk away, tons of saws get stolen, and now we are downsizing, so we don't use a lot of big saws. If you think about it, everything that you've seen us do, what do I use? I use the top handle steel, and I use a pole saw, and then every once in a while I'll have to pull out maybe a big saw to block down the stop if I need to. Most of those big jobs we don't usually get anymore because I choose not to do them, and also too, I borrow a saw. I'll borrow a saw. I've got a couple big saws, but I just never wanted to go out and spend like Phil, my buddy, he's got two or three, probably two big saws. And the last time I borrowed one, which was like about a month ago, he brought it to me and he said he hadn't used it in months. Can't even remember the last time he used it. And it's like $1,000 saw. It's like I think it's a 660, a STIHL660. And I got a STIHL650 Magnum. All I need to do is, you know, it just needs a little bit of work at the shop, and it'll be fine. And then I have another saw that needs a little bit of work that I bought, but I've been just using the 311 and a couple other saws that are smaller. I just put a big bar and chain on them. And the only reason I used that one that day was because we had a humongous tree, and I just didn't have a sharp bar and chain. But I could have got away with just using a bigger bar. If I would have just bought a big bar and chain, I could have got away with it. But anyway, this is equivalent to the 660 STIHL, I believe. And this, instead of spending $1,000 or $1,500, this is like $350. This is like equivalent of buying like a steel top handle saw. So, comes with the saw power head, comes with the kit, and what they're doing is they're making these, they're using the older STIHL plans, you know, like the blueprints from the say the STIHLs from 10 years ago, which were awesome saws. And so, you know, they're probably not going to be as good as the older STIHLs, because the quality and probably the the craftsmanship and the they don't spend a lot of time tweaking them, and maybe the the hardness of the steel might not be there. But if you get a good saw, that runs good, and you use every once in a while, or if the saw ends up getting stolen, you're not out $1,000 or $1,500 for one saw, and it's a lot less likely to get stolen if it doesn't say STIHL or Husky on it. And we don't use them very often, and also too, this is a chance for you guys not to have to buy one of these. I'll be the guinea pig, and you can watch the videos on TV. I mean, on YouTube, if other people using these saws. I watched quite a few videos, and like 90% of them are positive. There were a few where the saw blew up on them, but you never know. Like 1 out of 100 people say bad things, and you can't believe everybody. As long as there's 90% good reviews out there, and you're not out more than $300. And another thing I was thinking too is, like, these things are the reason I bought this is because all the parts are compatible to a saw I already have. I already have a 650 Magnum in steel, and this is supposed to be, I mean, when I look at my 650 Magnum, I'm thinking, man, this is like almost identical. So anything on here I can use on my 650 Magnum. So like, say it blows up, or I have a problem or what have you, I can change it out. And also too, if you think about it, if you don't want anybody to steal your saws, you can change the plastics and put these plastics on your steel, and so people will be less likely to pawn your stuff. Because if you bring this into a pawn shop, you get like $50. If this is a steel equivalent, they'll give you a couple $100. So you're actually, I know this is bad, but you're actually better off. You're creating a target for yourself if you have brand new name brand stuff sitting on your truck. You're just asking for it. If you have all this brand new stuff and someone drives by, and they might just be like, you know what, I'm gonna jump out and grab that brand new $1,500 steel, or that $1,000 steel, or that $2,000 steel. But if they see this, they're gonna be like, I don't even know what that is. It's like, is that even, like, what is that? Something from Walmart? So I just cut these off. This is your little badges. Oh, QC passed, quality control passed. A little badge. So I guess somebody stamped it. And you come with your little mixing kit. So like, I never use these, but I guess if you're a homeowner, or if you're just going to use a saw every once in a while, I don't know, you could probably use this. It gives you the mixture. I think it's like 40 to 1 or something like that. But I'm just going to run the steel oil through it, lube it up real good, and just take it easy on it. Comes with your little tools. You got a scrunch, pretty nice looking scrunch. You've got a little Torx wrench. It's basically the same thing you get in a steel. You get your little screwdriver for adjusting the air fuel mixture in the idle, and then you get some Torx screws to put on your full. That's another thing, they give you a full wrap handle. I've never had a full wrap handle. Usually they give you like a regular. I always wanted to try one of these because we're usually flushing stumps with the big saws anyway. So what would you rather have, flushing stumps? Look at those dogs on there. Those are pretty aggressive dogs. Let's see. See how this handle goes on here. how this thing goes on here. Excuse the I've never had to put a full wrap handle on here, so please bear with me. Alright, get off there. Alright, I think it goes like so. I think that goes in there. I think I figured it out. But I think you have to kind of tweak it a little bit to get it to do what you want. Okay, give me a few minutes here. I might have to, I don't know if you guys want to watch me struggle with this or not, but I guess I can talk a little bit about today. Like I said in the other video, we just did a little cleanup job for a buddy. They had a house that needed some tending to. We don't usually do a lot of trash cleanouts. We don't usually drive over 10 miles to job sites, but sometimes when you have a buddy that needs assistance, I like to try to lend a hand if possible. So, because it's just so hard to find anybody to do anything anymore. So if someone helps me out, I try to help them out as well. Just kind of my rule of thumb. You help me out, I'll do anything I can to help you out, which is very hard to find these days, because it's hard to find the people to do anything. And the people that do things for each other, you gotta hold on to those people, because they're very few and far between. So, all right, I don't know why this is. It's a little tweaked. It seems like the more I screw it in, the better tighter it will, the less adjustment it needs. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to break this thing. Like I said, I've never put a full handle on. They usually come assembled, so it might need a little coaxing. See how that thing is not quite lining up? And I know you guys don't want to watch this, but I want to show you how difficult this is to assemble, in case you guys get one of these. It's kind of stubborn. I've never watched a video on this. I don't know if this is normal, or maybe this is just maybe got bent in shipping or something, or this does not want to cooperate. It's hard to line up the holes for some reason. I just don't want to line up. I'm blind. Where am I? I lost my glasses. I think they fell down or something. I don't know. I knocked everything off the table. I got a spare. Make sure they're not on me. It shouldn't be this hard. It should not be this hard, but like I said, these Chinese knockoffs are not perfect. Sometimes have to. I remember even when I was, you know, fixing cars, we'd buy these Chinese parts, like body parts, and you have to, you know, they would be like half price or a third of the price, but you'd have to ream the holes out and kind of use some elbow grease and kind of like, you know, do some little things that you don't normally do to like OEM parts, because they're not quite there. They don't have the same I'm at a loss for words here for some reason. Man, I don't know why that, it seems like I want to take it off and kind of like bend it or something. Maybe you should put the other side on first. Trying to get it close so I can kind of force it into submission here. Just afraid if I don't get it close enough I might strip it out, then I'll be in trouble. Sideways, I think. There it goes. It's starting to straighten up a little bit. Get in there. Can't. Seems like this metal bracket should be bored out a little bit because it's biting. But I drove a couple electric bikes yesterday, which was cool. I think I'm going to get some electric bikes again. One of my buddies is upgrading his bikes, and he's going to give me a deal on his used one, so I can't see very good. This is not supposed to, I know this can't be, it's not supposed to be this hard. I'm probably making it a lot harder than it needs to be for some reason. Sorry guys. It should be like super simple. If I had a screw gun I could strip this a lot faster. I don't know if it's supposed to mount flush or it's supposed to go in there a little bit. There, I want to get past. I don't want to strip it, so I'm thinking maybe. I wonder if they have a, I think I have a Torx wrench in my other kit. I probably should have, almost need to take a Dremel and like Dremel this out a little bit, because I think I'm going against the plastic. I'm going to strip it. All right, I think I got it about licked, boys. I wonder if they have the same problems with the steels when they come in, if they're not quite perfectly lined up. Now I know why these guys use those drills impact wrenches on this stuff. At least there's no gas in it. I want to strip it. Okay, I think that's about as tight as you're going to get without breaking anything. Yeah, it feels like it's going to break. Something's going to give like any tighter. Okay, that's done. Got that done here. Now I've got to screw down the other side without breaking it, hopefully. A full handle. I've never used anything with a full handle on it. Am I going to like it or hate it? Who knows? I was thinking too, maybe we could use this for firewood, because we do have a couple big, we actually do more cutting on the firewood side than we sometimes do the tree side, because there's so many cuts you have to make, and people don't realize, you know, like when you're doing a tree job, they're like, oh, can we save money if you just cut, if we save the firewood? I'm like, well, if you want to cut it up. I did a job for a buddy one time, and I ended up doing so much more work. Heck, I actually cut up all his firewood for him. It was like so much more work than it was doing the tree job. You know, because we're not set up like at the shop where we can hold the log up and we do a little at a time. You know, it was like, yeah. So if you own a tree service and someone wants to save money by saying, hey, just cut me up it into firewood and I'll keep it, the best thing to do is like, listen, do you have a saw? Because if you have a saw, I don't have a problem cutting it up in like 6 or 10 foot lengths, and then you can cut it up into firewood later. Just make a pile, stack it somewhere for them so they can kind of, you know, or maybe put it in, you know, in one location so they can cut it up. But don't ever make don't ever cut someone's fire up for free, because you're end up going to do like a lot more work than and get a lot more exhausted, and then also too, you have a better chance of hitting something because you're doing all those cuts. You're eventually going to run into something in that log. You're going to wear yourself out, or your saw's out, and then the next day you're going to be, it's not going to be good for anything. These are, it looks like the other ones are pretty tight already. I'm just going to check. The other Torques are, I think they're good. But even the dogs are tight. But honestly, it looks just like my 650 Magnum, and everything's the same. I mean, I'm sure the quality isn't as good, but I mean, it seems like the same saw. The compression. I mean, at first glance, everything seems there. It seems like the same saw. So we will see. If you buy the STIHL equivalent, it's like over $1,000. And a lot of the newer saws, you can't even adjust them. Like the saws that were made like 10 years ago, I think, in my opinion, they were the best saws, because all the newer stuff, they have, you can't even adjust them. And then they come with another thing. Well, I still don't like these little deals. I love Huskies, because I wish that Husky made the little things that would fit on your gas tanks, 'cause I like those the best. You can just pull them right out, put them back in, and they you can replace them a lot easier. These, for some reason, they like that one. I like that. I wish they would make them all like that, where it's just a simple triangle and it just simply pops in there, and it doesn't, there's no way you can mess it up. And if you get a new one, you just pop it back in there. I think Husky's the best on that. But if you don't use them every day, you wouldn't know, because they don't frustrate you as much. I don't want to pull it too much, but okay, guys, this is the STIHL equivalent 660 for a third of the price. We're gonna fire it up tomorrow. Everything's the same. The choke's the same. You can feel a little bit of quality difference in the choke. So it's not quite the same quality. You know, it's a little bit cheaper, but it's just basically a knockoff. And they use all the same, you know, everything as far as like, it looks the same, the dies and stuff are the same. It's just the quality is not quite there. But if you're only using it here and there and it works for you, I don't know, we will see. If it doesn't blow up and it runs for a couple months, it's worth it. And if no one steals it and it stays on your truck, it stays in your shop, it's worth it. So I'm going to throw a bar and chain on it, and we're going to put it to work tomorrow. At least cut up a few logs so you guys can see it. Anyway, this is Roger with Roger's Reviews, and we'll see you on the next video. God bless. Take care. Be safe.